First down, there are some big bye week games this week in Week 10. What do I mean by that? Big bye week catch-up games. So, the Pats, Eagles, and Texans are all on their bye weeks.
Yep.
The teams that are chasing them in division or in front of them in division or that they are chasing in conference are all in action. Let's start with the Texans. They're off this week. They're 6-3. The Colts are active this week, potentially with Brian Hoyer at quarterback. The Texans are 6-3. The Colts are 5-3. If the Colts go to 5-4, the Texans have first place all by their lonesome. If not, if the Colts win at home with Hoyer at quarterback, then the Colts are in first place because they have already beaten the Texans in the first of two matchups this year. That's a big bye week catch-up game to keep an eye on. Unfortunately for the Texans, they're taking on the Dolphins. Although, who knows? Ryan Fitzpatrick might cobble a couple together. That's one of them. The Eagles, while the Cowboys are taking on the Vikings, they're on a bye week. If the Vikings come up with the W on Sunday Night Football in Dallas, feasible, then the Eagles have the same record as Dallas, sitting on a bye week. Dallas wins this game, then they are currently 5-3, 6-3 in front of the 5-4 Eagles. That's a big game. They could wind up with either the same record or one game in front while the Eagles are sitting on a bye week. And then the Patriots are on a bye week, and the Ravens just came up with the big win I told you about in first down last week. The 1 seed was essentially on the line on Sunday night. If the Patriots had won that game and improved to 9-0 going on their bye week to send the Ravens to 5-3 and then be sitting there right there, the Ravens at 5-3, several games behind New England without a tiebreak in their back pocket, that would have been a big boost for the Patriots to get home field throughout the entire playoffs. And I know we're talking about this going into Week 10, but that's for real. Now the Ravens with that win, if they win this week, go to 7-2, they're just a game behind New England, and then just need New England to slip up one more time with them having a one-game better record the rest of the way, they could get the Patriots back in their building. But that takes a big hit if they lose this week. However, they're in Cincinnati taking on the Bengals coming off their bye week. And as we know, Cincinnati is starting a new quarterback for the first time, getting his first career start. So keep that all in mind. That's big bye week catch-up games. That's first down. Here's second down.
Second down.
Second down is that early season wins are taking mid-season tie-break form right now. What do I mean by that? The Rams beat the Carolina Panthers in Week 1. They're both 5-3 right now. That's a big situation if we're talking about maybe a second, potentially, a wild card game, a wild card seeding, or the 5 seed or the 6 seed. Keep that in mind. Pittsburgh won in Week 6 here in Los Angeles against the Chargers. They're now 4-4. The Chargers are 4-5. That's a big tiebreak as to who might make the playoffs or not. Another one, the Chargers have one in their back pocket on Indianapolis. Week 1.
Right.
You remember that in Week 1? With the loss in Pittsburgh, Indianapolis is now 5-3, and the Chargers at 4-5. That's a big one. Indianapolis just lost a tiebreak possibility to Pittsburgh, where they just lost to Pittsburgh. They also have one not in their back pocket against the Chargers, and unfortunately for them, also against Oakland, which won in Week 4 against Indianapolis. Indianapolis' best win this week against the Dolphins at home, and their best way to make the playoffs is to win their division, because right now the wild card possibilities against Pittsburgh, the Chargers, and Oakland are all not in their favor. These are all first half of the season games with wins and losses that are beginning to take shape as tiebreakers as we're heading into the second half of the season. And that's also a big one, too. Don't laugh. Cleveland and Buffalo right now, because the AFC North is getting further and further away from Cleveland. And if they have any designs to make the playoffs as a wild card, Buffalo, even though they're 4 games behind Buffalo right now, that's something they need to have in their back pocket, which brings me to third down about the Browns.
Third down.
I'll just read off what I've put down for the lower third graphic. Cleveland, Welp.
Oh, man. Ay.
Welp.
We talked a lot about this yesterday, so...
Well, let me give you my 2 cents.
Take
Since
the floor
I'm the
here.
guy who had a fourth
Take the
down
floor.
hot take last week that Cleveland was going to win their next 6 games because they had Brandon Allen getting his first career start for the Denver Broncos. The last time a quarterback who was an undrafted quarterback got his first career start and won in that career start without starting at all in the first 3 years of his career. Do you know the last one to do that? I don't have the answer for you because we can't go back further than 1950 to find one.
Oh, wow.
That's the guy the Browns just lost to.
Brandon Allen.
By the way, with their first overall drafted quarterback, all right, who, look, I defend Baker Mayfield perhaps more than most, right?
Yes.
And this is definitely a generational thing. It's definitely a generational thing. I am literally twice this kid's age. I'm a 50-year-old man saying this about somebody who's, 24, 25?
I think so, yeah.
I just think a quarterback is a CEO of a team, man. And I don't care that he was on a phone before, years before, whatever. But to show up after your team goes to 2-6 and your coach is on the hot seat and your coach got the job because of your relationship with him, and you show up looking like, I guess, let's do the pop culture references here. John Candy and Uncle Buck, and also selling shower curtain rings. Or you look like the Dukes, okay?
One of the wet bandits from Home Alone.
Well, no, you look like the Dukes in when they had a cameo in Coming to America.
Homeless Dukes.
Yeah.
They give him the money.
Yeah.
Gives him money.
Columbo, to use a total pop culture
Columbo's
reference that
a
will
good
go
one.
over the millennials' head.
Yep.
It's just, and then he had Cutler-esque body language. I couldn't be more disappointed by the performance and everything else. And I defend this kid so much, and I feel so, I'm not ready to throw it out yet, though. They have so many winnable games. This is why I said 6 wins in a row. But Cleveland, welp. And I was going to go hot taking, saying that Cleveland will lose their next 5.
Oh, wow.
To go reverse.
Go the other way.
But I'm not. Let's get to fourth down right
All right. I mean, I don't know how you're going to top last week's fourth down with the hot take plank with the Browns winning 6 straight. But you have it, so what do you got?
I'm going to piss you off.
Uh-oh.
You're going to piss me off?
Yep. Lower third it. Patriots are going to lose 2 of their next 3 and call Gronk.
No. No, win.
I mean,
win.
Look, if losing 2 of the next 3 results in a call to Gronk and he comes back, let's rock.
Bye week. They won't lose this week. At Philadelphia, home for Dallas, at Houston. Now, here's the thing, though.
They lose the road games?
They have to call Gronk before they play in Houston.
Okay, so that is...
It's week 13. You
Week 13,
must,
okay.
If someone's on the reserve retired list, they must come off it the business day before your week 13 game. I do not know what that means. Here's where I can't pinpoint it yet. Because the business day before week 13, that's Sunday of the Thanksgiving weekend. Is Black Friday technically a business day? Or is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving technically the last business day before that game?
If the offices are closed and you got to put it in.
But what did they miss on Sunday night?
Oh, boy, they needed Gronk. They needed that tight end in the seam, man.
What will they miss in Philadelphia and maybe home against Dallas? It doesn't matter the record. They know what they're missing, and what they're missing is 87. And he could do whatever he wants talking about Edelman being a furry squirrel on Fox.
Yep.
And he could do whatever he wants with the CBD and all that business.
Yep.
All he's got to do is take the call from the 617 area code or the 508 when it comes in his 305 and say yes, because that call's coming.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.